watching Delta Daybreak.
Welcome back, Mississippi Delta, and we're here to talk about financial fitness again this morning with Ike Trotter. Good morning, Ike.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. It's been a couple of weeks. Took me a little more effort to get up this morning, but I'm here bright and bushy-eyed.
Sounds good. And I hear you're going to be talking to us today about Social Security changes.
Yes. Social Security, interestingly enough, I heard that this past August, Social Security celebrated their 75th anniversary. And it's always important to say, Tammy, that when you look at Social Security, the history of Social Security, at its inception, President Franklin Roosevelt, who signed Social Security into law, said that it was really only designed for a small number of our elderly citizens.
Really?
To protect them against the abject poverty at retirement. Of course, what was going on at that time was we were coming out of the Great Depression of the late 1920s and early 30s, and President Roosevelt and Congress had to do something to get the economy back on track and get people working and feeling confident about things. So thus we have Social Security. And today, Social Security is a major part of our financial landscape, and it provides benefits not only for old age, which is retirement, but it also provides benefits for survivors, families, disability benefits. They say it covers some 45 to 50 million people.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Now, Tammy, I'm not about to get into the discourse going on today about Social Security and the political ramifications of that.
Because there's a lot of that going on right now.
We'll let the politicians handle that.
Sounds good.
I've done this before, but I think it's always good to talk about Social Security for our viewers and let them know a little bit about what's going on today.
Definitely.
So I thought we would talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
The first trend that we're seeing right now is that, as you have expressed and most people know, Social Security is not going up on January 1st. And the problem with that is that it didn't go up on January 1st of this year. So what we're seeing is that when Social Security adopted a cost of living adjustment back in 1975, it gave people the ability to have their checks going up by the cost of living. But what's happened is the Department of Labor, at the end of every third quarter of the year, which is September 30th, they look back at the past 12 months of what inflation has done to spike prices. And they've seen over the past 12 months of this year, as it was last year, that inflation hasn't gone up.
And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the second year that this has happened.
Right. And it's the first time that we've had, and that's the first time that we've had back-to-back years like this since they started that cost of living adjustment in 75. So that's tough for a lot of our people, our viewers in the Delta that are on fixed incomes. It makes it tough. Now, back in 2009, we had a spike on the cost of living adjustment of some 5.8%. And at that time, Tammy, it represented the largest increase in the inflation spike since they started it. What happened was back in the summer of 2008, there was a short-term spike in oil and energy prices, if you might remember, during the summer of 2008. So we had that. So what we're seeing with that is there is definitely a cause and effect as to what's going on with Social Security recipients' check.
I might not really remember that, Ike, but I know my pocketbook did.
Oh, it sure did. And for a lot of pocketbooks of people in the Delta, that's happened. The second trend that we have seen with Social Security that might be interesting to our viewers, and we'll probably need to go a little bit more into the second half to talk about that, has to do with a recent study that was put out by the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College. And the interesting information from this survey was actually talking about when are people drawing down their Social Security retirement benefits. Boston College, there was a group that put out a survey that actually studied about when do people start drawing their Social Security retirement. I thought it was rather interesting. It said that approximately 50% of all men and women who become eligible for Social Security at age 62 decide to draw their income at that time. That's the earliest age they can take. Now, normal Social Security retirement is now age 66, Tammy. And they say by that age, approximately 90% of Americans are taking their Social Security income by that time. So they start pretty early at 62, and by age 66, most of the people are taking it. And the reason why I say that is that there is the opportunity for Americans to wait until they're age 70 to start drawing Social Security, and there's some benefits for doing that.
And what are some of those benefits?
Well, the primary benefit is that every year that you wait, Tammy, after normal retirement, which is considered 66, your income will increase by 8% per year. So if someone waits from 66 to 70, they're looking potentially at a 32% increase in income every month.
Well, Ike, we're going to have you back on another Friday to finish off some of this Social Security talk, because there's a lot to it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. When we come back, we'll have one last look at your weather forecast.